Okay, hello. Well, now we're gonna talk about the authorization and allocation process for loans, but in terms of the human resources. And we're gonna include, of course, again, the opportunity evaluation of this case. And again, we're talking about a problem which involves the authorization and allocation of an amount at the moment a loan is requested. It's about understanding and defining the probability of default of a credit applicant to pre-authorize or even authorize a loan. Okay, so we continue with this same project. And of course, we want to review the task analysis that you know that task analysis is in the context of credit authorization using artificial intelligence involves breaking down the process into specific tasks to understand the steps and requirements. It includes the data collection, the risk assessment, and the decision-making and communication elements. So in the first case, the data collection means gather relevant information about the loan applicant, such as financial history, employment details, and of course, the credit score. In the case of risk assessment, analyze the data to determine the applicant's creditworthiness and assess the probability of default. That it's maybe one of the most complex things that we need to do. Then, to the part of decision making, use artificial intelligence algorithms to make informed decisions on whether to pre-authorize or authorize a loan based on the risk assessment. And finally, communication includes design a system to communicate the decision to the applicant, providing transparency on the factors considered. And in this part, we need to review extended explanations just to be very clear about the understanding in the case of the applicant about the decision or the final result. In the user experience design, we understand that it's crucial to ensure a seamless and transparent interaction between users and the artificial intelligence-driven credit authorization system. We include user interface, transparency, feedback, and accessibility elements. In the case of user interface, we are talking about create a user-friendly interface for loan applicants to input necessary information and understand the decision-making process. We are talking about, of course, different kinds of devices. Could be a cell phone or tablet or even your laptop. But in every case, we need to be sure that this interface works in terms of the applicants. Then for transparency, we need to clearly communicate the factors influencing the decision, helping users understand why a decision was made, and if they don't have the answer that they want, to be sure that they understand what do they need to achieve the result that they want. In the case of feedback, provide feedback on the application status, guiding users on potential improvements for future applications. And of course, it's not only about the application itself, but the environment that could give us a bad result or a bad operational situation. For example, the quality of the Wi-Fi, things like that. And finally, the accessibility. We need to ensure the system is accessible to a diverse range of users, considering different levels of technological literacy. We want to have a soft application just to be sure that anyone could ask for these services of credit. For the privacy considerations, protecting user data is paramount, and privacy considerations play a critical role, of course. And we're going to include data encryption, anonymization, data access controls, and compliance. In the data encryption part, we need to implement a robust encryption methods to secure sensitive user information during transmission and, of course, storage. And anonymization strip personal identifiers from data used for training artificial intelligence models to prevent the identification of individuals. Then the data access controls with restrict access to sensitive data to authorized personnel only, ensuring that it is handled responsibly. And finally, compliance, that means adhere to data protection regulations and industry standards to maintain legal and ethical practices. Finally, for ethical considerations, we need to ensure ethical practices, and we already know that this part is essential in artificial intelligence-driven credit authorization. And we thought about 4 different elements: fairness, explainability, informed consent, and human oversight. Fairness about regulations regularly update and address biases in the artificial intelligence algorithms to ensure fair treatment across diverse demographic groups. Explainability, make efforts to make artificial intelligence decision-making processes understandable and interpretable to users, enhancing trust. This is very important. Then the informed consent, clearly communicate to users how their data will be used and obtain explicit consent for processing. And finally, the human oversight, integrate human oversight in critical decision points to intervene if the system shows signs of bias or, of course, error. So, as a conclusion, the main objective is to develop a credit authorization system that is not only efficient, but also user-friendly, privacy-aware, and ethically sound. Thank you very much.